So what's up, guys? Here with FC Wonderkid now on episode 3. Here with Brett and my colleague in the States. Right now where you in the shore, right?
Yeah, Cape May, New Jersey.
Oh, how are you? How are you? How are things?
Doing great. I'm in this incredibly white and light room. It's a wonder what technology does that we're still able to do this.
Sure.
But there's a lot to talk about, so let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking. It is so if we're gonna get cracking, we need about talk about the big Champions League week it was,
Yeah.
and boy oh boy, the best talent in the Champions League this week, in my opinion, was Phil Foden. What are your
Oh, I thought
thoughts
you were
on
gonna say Mason Mount. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
straight away? Is it?
geez, geez. Wow, that's awkward. I'm sorry.
Well, it is awkward because I'm assuming in the Champions League final, you're counting more on the London side, right?
No, not necessarily. I just like a lot of drama. Um, but when it comes, let's take them one at a time. Phil Foden, man, Phil
Let's
Foden.
go. Let's go.
Um,
So, what are your
all I can
thoughts?
say, I'll start with Phil Foden just very quickly, and then I'll let you jump in because I know you got a lot of comments on him. But all I can say, let's not even talk about talent because you're going to talk about that. Let's not talk about stats. You're going to talk about that. Here's what I'm going to say about Phil Foden. Steely resolve. This kid, how many times over the last 12, 24 months did people write him off saying he needed to leave Manchester City, saying he was never going to get a chance. He was never going to do it. And he nose to the grindstone, got it done. He's worked his ass off. He's worked his way in. He has become incredibly trusted by Pep. And I honestly do believe that it's only a starting point for him. And man, it's going to be a wonderful theater for him to show off. I believe it's May 25th, something like that, is the Champions League final. So before you even kick a football, that's what I got to say about him. How many times has he been written off? You can actually say the same thing about Mason Mount. But how many times has Phil Foden been written off only to basically come back and become an important person for City? So,
Well, the big difference between Mason Mount and Phil Foden is Mason Mount had the loans to
mhm,
Vitesse and Derby County, in
true.
which he grew. He grew as a player, and Phil Foden, there was a bit of a question mark. I'll be truthful on my end. You know it. I know. I could hear it when you were speaking that you were saying, "Oh, like you wanted the loan," and I did. I'm gonna say it. I wanted Foden with Bielsa at Leeds. I was very fond about that loan move,
Mhm.
but thank God he didn't because wow, wow, what happened? I am absolutely shocked that Neymar was outshined by this 20-year-old English kid from Stockport, Phil
Yeah.
Foden.
Yeah.
Uh, it's I think the Champions League match was the answer of all my doubts about who was number 3 in the Wonder Kids category. I
Yeah.
know Mbappe isn't a Wonder Kid right now, but I'll put Mbappe number 1 in terms of young talents. Haaland number 2 and Phil Foden number 3 right
Oh
now.
wow. Okay. Oh man.
Uh, he
You jumped.
outshined Mbappe and Neymar here, and this is the first final of a Champions League that Pep Guardiola is going without Lionel Messi.
Sure.
And if it weren't for Phil Foden, he might not be there. Because the against Dortmund, I know if they didn't have Phil Foden, they would have passed against Dortmund. I'm not saying they wouldn't have, but he scored 2 goals, and one of the goals was amazing,
Mhm.
amazing, and the assist against PSG and the runs at 20. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's the first player for Man City this season to have double figures.
Yeah. Sure.
This at 20. And let's not forget that Pep Guardiola, I think it was a year or two ago, he said he was the best player, the best youngster he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And Guardiola saw Lionel Messi playing, going up La Masia, and he says Phil Foden is number 1.
Yeah.
So this is destined for greatness. Sorry, you want to say something? I
No,
was.
no, and just to jump on top of that, uh, even after he said something like that, Foden still had to wait his turn. He still had to
Yes.
wait his turn. He had to wait for Silva to go. He had Aguero had to be injured. There were just so many different things when it comes to a deep squad like City, and basically Guardiola. They probably did give him the chance multiple
Yeah.
times to go out on loan, and it comes down to the fact that he again stuck his nose. Kept his nose to the grindstone and just kept working, 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 and got his chance. And every time he got his chance, he did something with it, which you can't say the same about how many times have we waited to see somebody shine only for them to, kind of fade away in the spotlight. Sometimes understandably, because it's a big spotlight.
I
To
agree.
play for a team like City, that's a big spotlight. And yeah, again, Stockport born, City raised. It's an amazing story, and it's one that when you put it next, you'd think we're talking about the FA Cup final here or something, right? When you're talking about a English talent like Phil Foden going up against an English talent like Mason Mount
No,
in
yeah.
the Champions League final.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. It really is. And I got to say one more thing about, because you talked about the runs. His footwork, his ability to just sniff out a goal or an opportunity is just insane. And the resolve, right? All of that, the character that shows in what he plays, and the maturity that shows in what he plays. I'm more interested to see how many kids behind him, how many players behind him are looking at him and saying, "I want that. That's what I want."
Liam Delap.
The Cole Palmers, the Liam Delaps, the guys that are from overseas that have come into City's academy, like
Jaden
Oscar
Braff.
Bob and or how many more wind up like a Jaden Brett. So it'll be really interesting to see. These guys are watching Phil, and they're basically saying, "This is what I want next. I want the spotlight. I accept the spotlight, and I'm going to do whatever I can take to get it there." To get myself there, I should
And
say.
you remember Phil Foden in the Under-17 World Cup playing against Juan Miranda at left back, Abel
Yep.
Ruiz. Oh, it's to see the glow up.
Yeah.
I think it's the first glow up I've seen since he was like 15 years old. Like, I'm so proud of Foden. It's such a good moment
See,
for.
and you thought I was going to be a Foden hater. You thought I was going to be somebody that I have a partial nature to Mason Mount, but because that's a separate glow up, one where he had to obviously outshine on multiple stages.
Well, let me just say this. It
Yeah.
just shows Mason Mount's greatness being compared to Phil Foden. Okay?
Yeah.
Because Mason Mount is older than Phil Foden.
Right.
So in turn that's a good argument you can put on Foden's end, but what a good headache you have if you're Southgate, right? You got Mason Mount, you got Phil Foden, you got Jack Grealish, you
Yeah.
got you got so many players for that position.
You
It's well, what
do.
are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are you've already hit the nail on the head. There are going to be some people that are not very happy with the roster release, and understandably so, because you can only take so many. One, and then two, you can only obviously play 11. So it's going to be pretty interesting when it comes down to that.
Is
But
Greenwood there?
oh man, after today, I mean, his last, what's he got? He's got 5 in his last 5. I know we're going
Yes.
off on a tangent
Five
here, but
five goals in his last 5 matches, yeah.
last 7, I mean, he's doing, if he's not there, he's doing everything he can to get there. So
You consider him a generational talent, like many United fans say.
my goodness, not yet. No, not
Okay.
yet. I do consider him well on his way to being one, but I can't say that yet now.
Well,
But back to the task at hand, because obviously end of May is going to be pretty amazing matchup, and it comes down to Phil Foden versus Mason Mount, and who you have. I mean, let's overgeneralize this, or let's go top down here. Manchester City, Chelsea. Who do you have winning?
It's I did answer on TikTok. Someone saying we were going to talk about this, so it's inevitable, I guess. I'm going Man City.
Okay.
I'm going Man City. Because as I said, I feel like Phil Foden is built different, and I think Guardiola sees the chance he didn't have at Bayern, he has it now at City. And Aguero said it. I'm only leaving when we win the Champions League. He said that in 2014, right? And he's
Yeah.
gonna get it. He's gonna get it. I have the feeling Man City are gonna win it. Because they beat PSG. PSG beat Bayern. Okay, so I put Man City in the number one spot right now in the world. And they're gonna win the Prem. And also Ruben Dias. I have to go with the Ruben Dias agenda too. Okay. So Phil Foden, Ruben Dias get the job done, and
Well,
yeah,
you have the whole Benfica connection, right? With that.
Bernard Silva, Cancel, yeah,
Yep.
Ederson.
Yep.
You gotta respect to City and investing in a good academy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. And here's one of my heart. You already know. My heart says Chelsea's going to win. I don't know why. I have not been able to give you a good reason why. Believe it or not, I still can't tell you why. Maybe it's an American bias to Christian Pulisic, but I'm going to give I'm going to give you one reason why I do think City is going to pull it out, right?
Okay.
To get it done, and it's Fernandinho. Okay, this is a guy that I look at Phil Foden and I look at Fernandinho and I say these guys have the same character in many ways. Okay, they're resolute, right? They're determined, and Fernandinho is the type of guy that wanted to make a mark on Man City. Multiple opportunities to go elsewhere. Came in and wanted to fight for his place. He's obviously not a wonder kid here. We're not talking about him as one, but he's the type of guy that I want on. And obviously De Bruyne. I mean, there's just some really class players on City. And my brother-in-law is going to. You're going to think he was down here with me right at the shore, and you're going to pay me off to say these things because he's a big City fan. But he didn't. This is actually, they have a backbone on their team that is pretty damn resilient, and I'm interested to see it go up against Chelsea. But for some reason, the day of one-offs, the momentum, it can all change from now until then. I just feel like Chelsea's going to win it. I just do. When all is said and done.
The only reason why I'd love to see Chelsea win it is to see Conte smile. Okay. So I don't want to see Conte sad, Yeah, so
the world loses when that happens.
Yeah, we always want to smile on Conte's face. So that's the only thing you get out of me. But I'm Man City on this. I'm Man City. But I love the question.
Yes.
That was a really good question.
And well, let's talk a little bit about Mason Mount though, because while obviously Foden had to wait his turn, still believe it or not, I mean, still does. He's obviously very much a part of the setup, but it's not like he's
he's a starter.
But will be. He is now. Yes. But take Mason Mount's trek. We all know the Chelsea Lone Army moniker, right? There's 60 kids out on loan at all times. Tammy Abraham went through it. Mason Mount, Reece James, all of these guys have essentially paid their dues by going to clubs. And that actually speaks volumes because you go to a different culture, you go to a different setup, you go to a different coach, everything, all down to the food you eat before you go to the game. Mason Mount had not only shown well at Vitesse, right? And that was back when he was 18, 19 years old, if I recall. He was dropping double-digit goals in the Eredivisie at that age. And then he took Derby County to the promotion playoff final, right? Yeah. And they fell ultimately, but you're talking about a young guy that and then was thrust into it when Frank Lampard came in. Some would say that it was Daddy Frank, right? Essentially putting Mason Mount on a pedestal. But man, through the turnover, through everything, Mason Mount is the go-to guy even for Tuchel.
He
You
saw
know?
the talent. Lampard saw the talent. And interesting fact, Mason Mount is the first English player, Chelsea English player, to score in the semifinals since Frank Lampard in 2008.
Well, there you go.
So he's following Lampard's steps. It's the Lampard legacy. And fun fact too, he was the captain in Lampard's last match. So that can be symbolically, it can mean he's the next to take the reign.
Look at you dropping the factoids.
I
Okay.
know, I know. I did my homework today.
Yes, you did.
Today.
Yes, you did.
But I want to say two things that really impressed me about Mason Mount.
Okay.
First one is he's a complete midfielder.
Mhm.
He's got the passing, he's got the tackling, he's got the positioning, he's got the first touch. I love that first touch, the technique. Uh, I can. He's one of the best. You know, he's 22 right now, and I can see him staying at Chelsea for the rest of his career. I can
Yeah.
see an amazing legacy at Chelsea with Mason Mount. And if I were a Chelsea fan, I would be so happy to have a player that will be in the discussion to be the player of the year in the Premier League every year, and it won't be a surprise.
Right.
How lucky is Chelsea to have a kid like this? Reece James, Billy Gilmore.
Yep.
Did you see Billy Gilmore next to the Man City midfield?
Yes.
But he was so composed, getting
was.
the pinpoint passes at the right time.
Yeah.
Tuchel has such a good army of wonder kids right now. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Shout out to who said that on TikTok for me to mention him.
Yep.
I have to mention Cho. Cho is insane. The technique, the speed. He'll go far too. Maybe he might need to go to the Bundesliga. I just wanted to say that. Bayern Munich. Come on. I'd love to see Cho at Bayern Munich.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
It was close, but the fees, the demands were insane. But going back to Mason Mount, that's complete midfielder. He's a captain, and he's gonna play. He's gonna be a player in the discussion for Player of the Year many years. So
Right.
Chelsea fans, good luck.
Good luck. Good luck is right. I can't wait. I can't wait. Still some time to wait though before we get there. But I'll tell you what is well, Phil Foden's only 20, right? Mason Mount's a little old. He's a senior in this. He's 22, correct? So he's a senior in this. Average that out. 20 and 20, 20 to 22. What do we got there? We got 21 years old, right? Yeah. You and I had decided that after we had some people that were pretty excited about our top 5 U18 lists, we should up the ante and make it even harder on ourselves. Why don't we list our top 5 U21s?
Oh yeah, I love that topic. The top 5 under 18s. It went really well on YouTube. Which shout out to everybody who subscribed on YouTube. Like all our videos. That'd be a huge help. I never thought I was gonna say this in my life, but I'm doing it, which is quite cool. But going back to what you were saying, top 521. It is, right? You want to start here because I started in the under 18s.
Sure.
Start here.
Yeah, and you and I might even have quite a bit of overlap here. I do know that there's. Let's just start. We'll start.
Yeah.
Okay. My top 5 U21s, and I'll go with my 5, and we'll see if there's any overlap. But you know what? I won't do all 5. I'll just give you my 5th right now, and then you give me your 5. How's that sound?
Deal. 5th. I love it. Okay. I love it.
All right. Let's go. I'm gonna go De Ligt for my 5th.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. And I think it's more of a anti-defense bias a little bit. Okay. Maybe not. It could be because Juventus was they would have been a little more piss poor defensively without him this year, but they clearly have not had the year that many had expected, of course. And the young core, the young potential there. So in a team setting, he could be the one that brings him back to 5, 6, 7 years in a row winning the Serie A. But this year was just wasn't his best, to be honest. Wasn't. Although he got into a swing of things later on in the year where it's very clear the talent is there. Some of the games where he just basically bosses opposing attacks, it's pretty unbelievable. You probably have more to offer on this end, but let's I'll keep the analytics. Not that anything I say is analytical, but
You said
I'll keep that to a minimum. So my number 5 is the link, and that's
okay.
sort of why. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Jean Felix because let's go with the Jean Felix agenda, boys.
Yep.
And I have to support Jean Felix because he needs support because Simeone ain't giving him the support he needs, in my opinion. You're gonna put him on the bench, not getting any minutes. Okay, he gets 20 minutes here and there. I don't think the relationship of Simeone with Jean Felix is really good. If you're putting one of your superstars on the bench, and I see in the comment sections, oh, you don't, Jean Felix doesn't score goals, he doesn't do assists, but you need to see Jean Felix not just with the goals and the assists. You need to see the player on the pitch playing, see the tape, and see the difference that Jean Felix does in a game. You know, against Liverpool, you remember that moment in which he got the ball, first touch, he did the assist straight away.
Yeah.
Jean Felix just needs to be at the right team. Right
Yeah.
now, he's not at the right team in Atletico.
Well, I mean that's a perfect segue to that because a lot of people say, why would Atletico spend that much money
Yes.
on somebody that's
Guardiola needs to spend the money for João Felix.
Okay.
We want to see it. Everyone here in Portugal wants to see João Felix with Guardiola. Like, no joke. I speak to many people here in Portugal in the football industry, and everybody says it. Everybody wants João Felix at Man City with Guardiola. It's just such a good fit. Such a good fit. Foden with Felix.
That'd be dangerous.
Scenes. Oh, but yeah, João Felix is my number 5. I'm gonna stub Alphonso Davies. Just want to say that.
Okay.
Because of the injury, but he's there on top too.
Okay.
So who's your number 4? I
my
like
number
this.
4. My number 4 is actually Alphonso Davies. Still.
Oh, I called it. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know this. I didn't know this.
Well, you knew something. You knew something was no. You knew I needed to fit a CONCACAF rep in there, right? And yes, he was injured this year. Same way Jean Felix was injured, right? For a little while and had to get back into the swing of things. But I mean, come on, you know the story of Alphonso Davies or Fonzie. He's not just a TikTok star when he's injured. This kid is a game changer. Has been since he stepped on the field for Vancouver Whitecaps 2 at 15 years old. Just an amazing story. But clearly, I mean, he's got the skill set. He changes games, and he was still a starter. He was still a starter near the end of the year, and they just clinched their ninth in a row, Mike. Right? Ninth in a row.
Yep.
Ninth Bundesliga title in a row, and there he is on the pitch. Right? So not necessarily in the same vein as De Ligt, right, where wasn't necessarily his best season, riding the coattails of last season, which was just transcendent, was just a breakout season. But from somebody that has followed him from his years in the, playing the Cascadian Cup, playing games against the Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timbers, and just watching him light defenses on fire. Before then making about a $10 million move to Bayern and then turning him into a they turned him into a left back. He was not really playing left back. Okay. And within 12 months, not even within 10 months, he takes over that position and he has now been an instrumental fullback or wing back, whatever you want to call it, in 2 titles and a Champions League title, I might add, right? Yeah. Not this year, but last year. Okay, maybe riding the coattails of last year a little bit, but every time he steps on the pitch, he's a game changer.
Nelson Smith, where you at? That's what I gotta say. Like that Alphonso Davies deserves respect because without Alphonso Davies, it wouldn't have been so easy to score that goal at Stamford Bridge with blithering speed and just passing to Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very good. Fonzie, very good pick. My pick at number 4, though, is Jaden Sancho.
Okay.
Jaden Sancho. Because Jaden Sancho has 9 goals and 7 assists in the Bundesliga, I think, this season alone.
Yeah.
And I know he had a rough start, but Jaden Sancho was in the discussion for the Golden Boy for 2 consecutive years.
Mhm.
There's a reason why, and I feel like a lot of Man United fans started to hate on him because he didn't do the move. So
Right.
some called him. Oh, some had the audacity to say he's overrated. Jaden Sancho ain't overrated. Like, I don't know what sport you're watching, but in football, Jaden Sancho's a baller,
Yeah.
and Man United must be going crazy to get him in because Ollie, the style of play that Ollie plays, they just need Sancho there. They just need Sancho there.
Wait, I'm
So
sorry. Is that an actual strategy? The only tactic of choice is they just need Jaden Sancho there.
no, I'm saying I'm saying Sancho would fit ideally at Man United. Now with Pogba, Bruno getting it, and they need a CDM. United needs a CDM too. Declan Rice would be an Ndidi or Declan Rice, fantastic fit. But going back to Sancho, he's number 4, and he's amazing. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
So
I'm gonna actually just jump in there because he's my number 3.
okay,
Okay. So it's a nice little segue into talking more about him. And again, let's take it back. Jaden Sancho is a trailblazer, right? He he was one of the first that said, "Listen, I'm not going to get the time I need at City.
yeah,
I'm going to make a very, very tough decision to leave England. I'm comfortable in England, but I'm going to make a very tough decision to move to Germany, to move to a very demanding academy in the form of Dortmund.
yeah,
And one that, yes, okay, they do play the kids, but this is pre-Holland. This is, they had Louis, right? They had Louis up top for many, many years when they were some of their most successful. But there was no guarantee that Jaden Sancho would head over there and turn heads the same way Christian Pulisic did. But Jaden Sancho went over there and forced his will, put himself on the field, and got it done. And there's a little bit of a theme here. Jaden Sancho, Fonzie Davies, João Felix,
yeah,
all overcame injuries this year. All
yep.
right, and they're still being talked about as some of the best U21s on the planet, and as they should be.
Love it.
And it's as if we knew, or they knew, that we were going to be talking about this because Jaden Sancho decided to turn into Jaden Sancho the other day, right?
Sancho, Shoji
Two
bola.
goals, right? Or what was it? A goal and assist? I didn't get to
Two
look at that.
goals. Two goals. Leipzig couldn't handle Jaden Sancho. Two
Yeah,
goals. You
and,
see,
and
what I love about Sancho, he plays that street football, just like Phil Foden. They
mm,
with the technique, it's so street. It's beautiful. I love
it's
it.
unique.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's football in its purest state. I
yeah,
just love it. I love it. I love it. And Felix too. Felix with the ball. The first touch. I always compare Felix with Kaká because both they're when they dribble the ball, they're not fast players, but they're fast enough because they can get past players, not with speed but with the technique. João
yeah,
Felix and Kaká, it's got the best technique out there. It's beautiful to watch.
yeah,
But your number 3 was Sancho. My
yeah.
number 3 is, I think it's obvious. It's Delict. That's why I
Mm,
was shocked with you putting Delict at number 5,
yeah.
because how I see things is right now in the I don't want I will I'll say this in the end. Delict for me is a generational talent
Okay.
because what he did in the Champions League with Frankie De Jong, Donny van de Beek, history. That they were really good in that Champions League in the competition, and it was because of Delict. Delict was the leader of that Ajax team, and I can't forget that. And also, he hasn't been bad at Juventus, De Ligt. He's proven himself going to a new league, new language. I think he's even learning Italian. So De Ligt being discussed to be the Juventus captain next season, next to Ronaldo, Chiellini. speaks volumes
Yeah.
of how he is as a player. Juventus have a leader there. I think I saw some news that Chelsea and I think it was Barcelona. They went to ask what was the availability of the league, and Juventus say no chance.
No
Yes, they
chance.
should. No chance. So when I start to see a play, I don't see a price tag on the leaked. He's not on the market.
Right.
That's a special player. Sancho has a price tag. I know circumstances do dictate it, but the league doesn't have a price tag, and there's a reason why. So that's why he's in my number 3.
Yeah, it would take Super League money to ride the league. Oh wait, hold on.
Mino Raiola.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He's well, yeah. We don't need to go into that. All right, no, I mean, those are obviously very good points with the league, and this is why it's so hard. But clearly, one of the best young U21 center back on the planet. I don't think that's not up for discussion between you or I because he's phenomenal. And you're right. I mean, the leadership that was shown during that historic season, that Ajax season, I remember it. I mean, and then you very much forget that he was 18, 19, whatever it was then. Unreal, absolutely unreal. And that brings us back to, my number 2. I don't think we need to talk too much more about him unless you got more factoids hiding under your shirt or something. That was weird to say on a podcast. But Phil Foden's my number 2.
Same.
Okay. So I think we can skip that, and we can probably say together who our number 1 is. It's gonna have to be
Erling Haaland.
Yep. Erling Brown Haaland. Right. Okay. Do we really need to list why?
I just want to say he's right now number 5 in the European top scorers in the top 5 leagues. He's got Messi's number 1 and Haaland's number 5. So this speaks levels.
It does.
Average of more than a goal per game at 20. It's.
We're gonna have to
big question. Do you think he's gonna leave this summer or the next?
I think he's staying another year. I do. I don't think he should, believe it or not. I do think he's ready for new pastures. Okay. But I do think he will stay one more year and watch some massive bid come in and take him away, steer him away from Dortmund. But I do think there is a part there. There is underneath his robotic exterior when he gives interviews, right? I do believe he wants Dortmund. He wants to see Dortmund on the top. I don't know how you get there with the core Bayern has, and with them bringing in Nagelsmann and a whole slew of defensive replacements, not re-emplacements. But ultimately, I do think that he's very competitive. I mean, he's the type of guy that'll, I don't know, probably
love it. Yeah,
I mean, he'll get pissed at a table tennis game, is my guess. And you just know that. You see him fight for every ball. You see him. It's, again, I'm not really even talking about the footballing skills here.
But Haaland has the Mamba mentality that you're speaking of.
Pretty much.
Like the Jordan getting problems with someone just for looking at him in the wrong way and getting.
And we both can say it. Haaland has the Mamba mentality for sure.
It's but you love it. I love it. It's when in the interviews when he say, I score one goal and then I score another, and then I get so happy and I want to score. Obviously, this kid is giving a guide of his emotions scoring goals. When he scores one, he wants another, and that's what I love about Haaland. It's how he seeks goals. He looks for them. The positioning, the speed he goes to the other goal. Wasn't it like 70 kilometers in 10 seconds? 6 seconds. I don't know. Crazy speeds. Oh, and right now, Erling Haaland is the top scorer in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
At 20.
Not only that, it hasn't just been one season of him doing it. It's been 2. Yeah. 2 seasons of him doing it. He did it with another team. He took Salzburg. To the semifinals, right? I'm not wrong about this. He took Salzburg to the semifinals. And I don't know, I mean, that in and of itself is amazing, and we all knew it. I remember you and I going back and forth back in the day with him scoring, what was it, 9 goals during the U20 World Cup
Yes.
or U
What
whatever,
a hat
and
trick.
and we're like, okay, that's probably a flash in the pan. We don't know. No, this kid is consistent, and when he has a bad, and let's talk about this, right? When he had that bad performance relatively
Mm,
recently, I think right before our last podcast, it was bad. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think there's any other way to put it. Um, he came back right away. I mean, just got right back on it, and that's that robotic nature of him that just he
Yep.
he, he just knows what he's doing, and he's going to be doing it for years to come. And I think the way he's built, and I really don't want to jinx it. I have to like knock on wood here. I don't know if that's a thing you do in Portugal, but barring any major injury, Erling Haaland will be one of the top scorers year in year out for at least a decade plus. Um,
Well, if he is, he can beat Ronaldo's record.
yeah,
So if we have on tape you saying Erling Haaland's gonna beat Ronaldo's record, and in 10 years' time it happens, what a soundbite!
I don't have I can't do that. I can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can we put 10 year long prop bets on Erling Haaland beating Ronaldo's record? Probably could, right? Get a bet created.
Right, right. Yeah, you can. If you, in England, you got those betting shops. I'm sure you can just go in and. I'm not. I don't want to advise people to go bet, but I'm
That's
sure the
true.
odds are there. I'm sure the odds are there. But this will go to the conversation of where will Erling Haaland go, and this will go back to the point I said. The first podcast was this all depends. Where is Erling Haaland going, and if Erling Haaland is going to City, we can expect more titles with Phil
Oh,
Foden, with Ruben Dias. Haaland is gonna be a winner. He can go to Real Madrid, but we think Real Madrid's gonna get Mbappe first. So Barcelona. I think Barcelona are top three in the race now, because Neymar's too expensive. No, Neymar just renewed his contract in Paris.
he did.
So Messi wants someone. And if it's not Haaland, maybe Lautaro. Lautaro has revealed he spoke to Lionel Messi last summer. So lots happening. A lot's happening. Especially
But
now with Mourinho. Mourinho going to Roma. I understand Lautaro wanted to leave Inter.
really, why?
I wanted to say that. I
Oh
love
my goodness,
I
no, no.
love
No. I,
Mourinho.
I think they've got the potential start of a dynasty.
Mourinho. I know
Yeah,
Mourinho's a bit outdated, but he's a character. He's the special one in his head, and I want to see Mourinho. I love Mourinho drama. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Look, my mom to this day asks me, "How's Mourinho?" Because Mourinho went to England, and he said, "I'm the special one." The world stopped. There was no internet. There was internet at the time, but people were reading newspapers saying, "I'm the special one." This Portuguese guy is. I've got the Champions League. Who won the Champions League? Me, Jose Mourinho. So I'm
Yeah.
always gonna hype him up, Breton.
Well,
Always.
I'm there with you because there's another side to football that Mourinho taps into that does jive with people that are either casual fans or there for the sound bites, because Mourinho will give you sound bites or eye jousts or whatever. The same way David Beckham gives you different hairdos. And occasionally Mourinho, or in his early days, he was backing it up on the pitch with his teams. He's not
Mm,
really doing that anymore. Just the same way David Beckham had some pretty amazing glory years. Am I comparing Mourinho and Beckham? I don't know what the hell's going on, right? But ultimately they do share similarities in that sense that yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
have
both winners.
casual fan friends that know who Mourinho is.
Yeah, they were both previously Galacticos. We can call Mourinho a Galactico. He,
Sure.
he came to Real as a superstar.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
loved The
I
world
mean,
loved him. And
he,
the truth is, Mourinho, after leaving Real Madrid, he never was the same. He was never the same.
yeah.
Something happened there. Something happened there. I hope it doesn't happen to Zidane. I hope Zidane stays on top.
Yeah, well, Zidane, what? He's on his 18th run at Real Madrid. No, just kidding. He's only been there twice.
And he's
Um,
won two Champions Leagues.
yeah, I mean, he's a boss. He's always been a boss. That man, watching Zizou play, I still remember that. I mean, some of my first years that I can remember actual footballing experiences watching that France team play in '98.
We
My
could
goodness.
now we're talking about a French player, a French coach now. So
Yeah,
we should talk about the league on title race. So
close.
Lille,
It's so close. Yeah, Lille. Under, I think it's Christophe Gaultier.
yep,
It
coach.
is. They've just been an amazing team to watch. I mean, a couple years ago, it might not even have been a couple years ago, but Lille were in financial trouble. They
Mm-hmm.
were, right? That's why they sold Pepe. That's why
Yeah,
they, yeah. And luckily, Arsenal. Unfortunately, if we have Arsenal fans listening here, they might not like this next soundbite. But I mean,
mm.
that's why. Hey, they jacked up the price. Somebody was willing to pay it, and
Luis
man,
Campos.
they saved themselves for it. But yeah, Q Gaultier bringing this team together, and they've got the upper hand right now. It's up to them. They win their last two games, it's over. They beat PSG with a salary dump or salary cap, whatever you want to call it, salary shell out, so much less than PSG.
Lille,
Um,
Lille have been doing top management. One of the
yeah,
best clubs buying and selling.
yeah.
Uh, they got Rafael Leão in a free. They got was Pepe like 11 million, 11 or 12 million.
Yeah.
I saw an interview of Luis Campos just saying it was just so obvious for me. Pepe was such a stud, and I was there thinking, I think you have no idea how special you are, Luis Campos. So he even got Angel Gomez from
Yeah.
and everybody knew he was really good. It's the size, but
Mhm.
yeah, amazing finds. But I wanted you to speak more about Jonathan David because you know him better than I do, the Canadian player. What are your thoughts on? He had a rough start, didn't he?
He did. Absolutely. I mean, price tag put on his head definitely made you think
Yeah,
you should have hit the ground running. You should have been scoring goals from the
yeah,
get go, and it didn't happen. It didn't certainly didn't happen the way he came storming onto the scene. He was at the in the Jupiler Pro League in Belgium,
mm,
and had just an absolutely monster year for Ghent, and double-digit goals plus. Might have even cracked 20 over there,
yeah,
and was just absolutely phenomenal. And then, yeah, not surprisingly, well, actually, it was surprising that it was Leo that ended up winning the race to get him. But for them to come in, it was the first time they'd actually spent a big chunk of, I believe, that Pepe money. I could be wrong about that. And
you're right.
they expected things right away. And yeah, he didn't hit the ground running. He just didn't. He didn't. In fact, people were saying this is not the player that we expected. This is we want a refund. And
They did it.
ultimately, he's proved them wrong. Absolutely proved them wrong. He is
Facts.
instrumental in these last, I want to say, since around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
He's put in 12, 13, 14 goals, and they're sitting 1 point above PSG. But yeah, you take Jonathan David, he's Canadian. You
Yeah,
take it Alphonso Davies, Canadian.
Canadian.
Both of them, 21 or younger. That's a future that even as an American, you got to be worried about it. Yeah.
Canada has another player there, Eustachio, Steven Eustachio,
Yes.
midfielder. I like
Yeah.
him a lot. He's very
Okay.
good at Passos Ferreira.
Okay.
He's gonna leave Passos Ferreira. Pepe, the coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good team. Very good team. Steven Eustachio. Remember the
Yeah.
name.
I
Another
do remember.
Canadian.
I mean, I do remember the name.
He went to Mexico. It was really, really weird. That was such a weird move. And
It is.
yeah, don't know what happened. Yeah, he went
Yeah.
to Mexico and then now he's back at us. I don't know too much about it, but
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it. But
Well,
he's
I
a
don't.
player. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, and when it comes down to it, it's going to be David. It's going to be Davies. David and Davies.
Yeah,
Right. It sounds like a comedy troupe or something, but they're going to be ruling, or at least giving Canadian fans hopes that they can get to a World Cup again. I
hmm
don't remember. I could be 90. I don't remember the last time that Canada has actually been in the World Cup. They won't have to wait in 2026 because they'll be joint hosting. But ultimately, Jonathan David has been absolutely phenomenal as of late, scoring any which way, and linking up with. They've gotten a few more years out of this Yilmaz, and I've probably butchered his last name.
26 games, 15 goals.
Yeah, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. But really, you take Jonathan David, but it doesn't stop there. Jonathan David isn't even the best player on the team when it comes down to it. It was a find. It was a cast-off. It was Sven Botman, a cast-off from Ajax.
I love Sven Botman and José Fonte. Respect to José Fonte. José Fonte is doing such a good campaign too. Yeah. Oh, José Fonte and Sven Botman. Botman is so good. I'm so excited for all these Dutch players.
Yeah, and that's one where if you didn't learn your lesson already, there are players in whether it's Ajax's academy, Feyenoord's academy, PSV Eindhoven's academy that won't make the cut. And Sven Botman was one of them. I believe he was brought in for 8-9 million euros. And clearly, if he's sold today, he's 40-50 million. Might be a little inflated, but he is leading in a whole lot of categories in Liga 1 and just been phenomenal. And a massive, massive reason why they are even, where they are right now. And I have to shout out. I got to do another shout out very quickly to a guy like Timothy Waya, who another U.S. I'm not going to call him a stud yet, but he is certainly on his way to, if he stays healthy and he's had injury issues. He's the type of guy that one-on-one is fearless, absolutely fearless, will take anybody on, has scored some big goals for them, actually started out at PSG, made his way over to Lille, and actually
was in Celtic, right?
Yeah, went to Celtic on loan for a while and actually did pretty well. But when it comes down to it, it has been great to see him healthy this year, and he's been pretty important for them down the home stretch. And I hope it continues. But they've got two big ones coming up, and we'll see if they can hold off PSG.
I'm a huge fan. You know who at Lille, Gnat Sancho.
Oh yeah,
Gnat Sancho, that Euro 2016. Still, I think he'll leave. I think he's gonna leave though. Saw some rumors about Roma wanting Gnat Sancho. Mourinho.
There you go. I mean, if it comes down to it, they do have to get on a path of financial surplus if they can, and not that you want to let go of a guy that has had a resurgence there. Disappears every now and again, right? But he's had some phenomenal games for them, some phenomenal stretches. I do think if you can sell him off to a Roma, it makes sense.
They'd sell him for, I think, 20 to 30 million, no?
Probably, yeah.
So Lille's going to win Liga.
Yeah, I do think so. I'm going to say it. I mean, there's nobody in their way right now that should scare the crap out of them. They got past, I believe, Lyon the other day, and that was one of their last real tough tests. And all they got to do is actually bring it home. But, hey, their fate is in their hands, whereas PSG, think about this, Neymar and Mbappe have to sit there, twiddle their thumbs, and wonder whether or not Lille is going to mess up because they can't alter fate. They cannot alter the power that Lille has right now in terms of deciding whether or not they are going to be League One champions. But what has been amazing has been, the Bundesliga. Okay, Bayern ran away with it, right? The Premier League, City ran away with it. This League One race has been amazing to watch.
La Liga.
And La Liga. I mean, La Liga is. That's.
Is there going to be a? I think it's La Liga has been fantastic too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe now it's still in Atletico's after that 0-0 draw. It's still in Atletico's hands because of goal differential with Real Madrid. But I could be wrong.
Simeone once again shows his masterclass and why he's the most well-paid manager in the world.
Yeah. If only he would play Jean Felix.
Yes. Just play Jean Felix. I want to see it. I'm begging you, Simeone.
Alex, you can only control these things on Football Manager. Sorry.
Oh no, no.
It's
I'm
tough.
joking. I'm joking. But it's interesting. You spoke well, and on Lille deserves credit for the management they've been having, and I think Luis Campos left, so I think a lot of clubs need a sporting director like him, or a director of football who
Mm,
can put things straight.
yeah,
Now you got United. That isn't it Fletcher now that got that position.
could be. I missed that if he did, but I
Yeah.
like it. He's,
Well, United need a director of football. If there was a club that needed it, it was United. Like, who do you think United's gonna sign up this summer? A little bit
oof,
of improv, but
man. Every time with this, I don't know. I just don't. My mind, I'm one of those guys that falls for the what
mm.
is your battery percentage and what is your birth month, and that is what a transfer rumor.
Okay, okay. Let me rephrase it.
Yes.
Who would you rather have for United? Harry
Okay.
Kane or Sancho? Who is more of a priority for you?
Well, my bias is obviously towards younger players, but both of them unfortunately have had pretty big spells with injury as of late. You can't get. Jaden Sancho has shown he can do really well in different environments. Harry Kane has been in one environment. I'm going to say Jaden Sancho, and I'll probably get rightfully killed for it in the comment section. Jaden Sancho, I'm saying it.
Well, yeah, you could pick Kane because they already have Amad Diallo, but I think Sancho does fit perfectly at Man United. But you know more about that Man United youth. They're really kicking in. Shola, Amad
Yep,
Diallo, James
yep,
Garner.
yep.
You
There's
can go through.
No, I mean you've named the three that I really like. Garner's been pretty good for he's at Nottingham Forest. Shola Shortire has been a breath of fresh air in the U23s
Kid's a baller.
as 16 and 17-year-old. I know he's just turned 17 and he's putting goals. Him and Diallo have obviously created a little bit of a brotherhood there on top of Hannibal
Hannibal.
Mejbri.
Oh, the technique.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's beautiful. I mean, just to watch him play is absolutely beautiful.
risky
I
move from
Yeah,
Monaco to United.
it'll be interesting if they're even able to integrate these guys. I hope they do. I don't know.
I wanted to talk to you about something that I had here on my notes.
Yeah,
And uh, what do you think's gonna happen at Arsenal? Arteta in or Arteta out?
man,
I
you're
got you.
really trying to get us hurt in these comment section, aren't you?
I just have this
This is what you
question.
call, what do they call it in soccer? This is what you call a medicine ball or a
Look,
hospital ball. Hospital
look,
ball. That's what it is.
Breton, this is my therapy once a week, speaking to
Yeah,
you about
yeah,
football
yeah.
and just
Uh,
going off.
I'd have to say Arteta out. Um,
Arteta out.
yes,
Troops, do you hear that?
I have to say Arteta out. I don't know.
Okay.
Are you at the point now where you just press the reset button?
Yeah. So it's Cronky's out too.
Well, you're not going to get Kroenke out. That's one thing. As an
Cronky
American,
won't leave.
no, no.
Okay.
Unless I forget the Spotify founder's name, but unless he comes in with two times 2x bid here, it's not happening. I mean, this is one thing that if you read things about these billionaires, if you read books about these guys, this is just an investment to them,
I
right?
see.
And someone's got to come in with the money. It's not about whose feelings are hurt. It's not about whatever. It's literally about how you make more money. And
Yeah.
they're competing too, but they're competing in the space of how much more can I make. It has nothing to do with should I play ESR over Odegaard. It has nothing to do with that. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no, no, no. But wait. No, no, no. The truth is, against Villarreal, Thomas
Yeah,
Partey didn't have someone next to him. And Odegaard and Smith Rowe playing at the same time, that's Arteta's call.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's you can't play two tens. You can't against Villarreal in the semi-final of the Europa League. Okay, it's not the Champions League, but come on. Arteta, I think the inexperience clearly shows in these moments.
Again, it
Look,
seems like Frank Lampard all over again with this.
but Lampard still, I still think Lampard in the long run is going to look better in the picture than Arteta. Like he still got, Arteta did get a trophy with Aubameyang. Aubameyang getting the contract extension. What happened since then? What has Aubameyang done since then? Since the contract extension? I just see Saka. Saka is the player who deserves recognition at Arsenal.
Jump on his back. Yeah.
Oh, he does everything. He plays in every position. Left back, winger. He can even play forward. He can go goalkeeper. Look, this is how much I trust Saka right now. The situation at Arsenal is it's bothering. And Tierney, play the kid. He's a leader. He's a voice. He won't. He'll hate being passed. He'll hate to lose one-on-one with a winger. I can guarantee you, he's gonna be vocal about it. Arsenal needs those people on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's
well, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Ben, and then we probably should wrap it up. But what position is lacking most at Arsenal right now?
I feel like it was really bad for Arsenal, Saliba not stepping up. That center back position was needed. Yeah. And I feel like at the start of the season, Arsenal should have got Houssem Aouar. Because you're going to get Odegaard halfway gone to the season. And it's an Odegaard that basically is not going to be there in the long run. And I think if Aouar or Buendia had gone to Arsenal at the start of the season, we may be talking about a team that's fighting for the Champions League. I'm not joking here. It puts me so sad to see a team that was one step away. It's just like United last season. They were one step away. And this season too. It's Arsenal, they needed that player at Cam earlier. They needed the Buendias and Aouar, and they needed someone vocal at the back. I don't think David Luiz is the cut. And I feel like Leicester are looking like a genius club, getting Wesley Fofana, and Arsenal getting Saliba. And Saliba was better than Fofana and Saint-Etienne. Okay? Yeah. But they were a fantastic duo. But the truth is that Wesley Fofana went to the Leicester environment and he improved. And he shows himself, his qualities, and he's improving as a player. And Saliba, that showed this quality at Saint-Etienne, goes to Arsenal. And Arteta, what happened between Arteta and Saliba?
Right.
We don't know. That was weird. That was so weird.
And now he's back at what? Saliba's back at Nice with Todibo
next to him. Yeah.
Yeah, Todibo next to him. God, that is those are two guys that can still make a resurgence. But not there yet. But
I'm feeling it. But Todibo.
Yeah, it's the tale of two stories between Saliba and Fofana. But that's just one thing, and maybe we end on this to start on this next time. Would love to talk more about how. I mean, come on, Claudio Ranieri, Leicester, biggest story in football for years to come. We'll always be going back to that, going like, how the hell did that happen? Yeah. And yet. Okay, they haven't won it again since. But you could have looked at that and said, there is no way that they become a top 6 club, top 7.
I agree.
And unbelievable work to offload Drinkwater for money, right? Offload all the guys that they have, including getting rid of your spine, N'Golo Kante.
Yes.
And somehow bringing in a guy like Ndidi.
Yes.
It's amazing
and
work.
Selling Maguire and getting Fofana.
Yeah.
Ricard Pereira. Yeah. James Maddison looking how he's looking. Keeping Vardy, because I'm sure every top club knocked on the door for Vardy. And he stayed. Oh, it's a lovely story. Ben Chilwell. Getting Brendan Rodgers actually saying no to Tottenham. Sure. It shows at what level Leicester are right now.
It shows that somebody there has vision.
And they sold Mahrez too. It was Kante and Mahrez. And now, Mahrez and Kante. We go back to the same topic.
I know. But there's two more shout outs. Just two more shout outs. Yeah, and you may have said it and I just didn't listen, but Yori Kielemans in the
Mm-hmm.
midfield for them. He's
Mm-hmm.
that just that silent killer. He's just
Underleg.
oh yeah. I mean well we could do a whole thing on Anderlecht for sure, and we probably should at some
You're
point
a
in the future.
specialist on that end.
But they were able to get Kelechi Iheanacho, and they paid a pretty penny for him from City, you may recall.
Yeah.
And for the first half of the season, I'm going to be blunt here. Iheanacho was a dead asset. the second
It's true.
the second half of the season, he's amazing. He's
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, such good business. You love a team that does good business.
Beautiful.
It's the fact that I've obviously winning the Premier League was glorifying, but I think it's glorifying itself staying at the top.
Yeah.
You know, and Leicester is staying at the top. Fantastic coach, fantastic team, and whew, and Leeds. I'm feeling the same energy with Leeds with Bielsa, but that's another story. Daniel James, please go to Leeds, okay? We can end it on that.
Yeah.
I just want to say to end the video, like the video, please subscribe. We appreciate the love on TikTok. You guys are amazing. Okay, I try to answer all the comments. It's just so cool seeing 200 subs already. Really happy about that. And yeah, let's keep on going.
A lot to talk about, always. Thank you.